Hello class, how are you doing? How is everyone doing? Everyone going good? Lessons are being learned here. Education is at its top percent. You're all going to the Harvard of the YouTubes. This is now known as the Harvard of the YouTubes. You know what I mean? So today class, there's a very important lesson. Some of you students are out there wanting to know, are we alone in the universe? But before you go out to the universe, I thought, why not teach you about our solar system? The solar system. So it is going to be a technique for you all to memorize how to basically, when you got given the questions, the ordering of all the planets. I personally don't know the order of the planets, but what the hell? Let's all learn together, and maybe we might even learn some information. Okay, so now drawing it out, we all understand that this thing over here, that is the sun. Okay, so now the sun, it is very hot. It is very hot, and when you are that hot, sometimes people like to call you the hot shot. And when you're such a hot shot like the sun, you like give, you send the energy particles. They like fly. It takes like 6 or 7 minutes to come from the sun to to the earth, and it is providing the heats and the warmth, and it's basically it dictates who becomes white and who becomes brown. It is no, I'm just kidding. It is technically the genetics, and I don't really know too much about genetics, but let me just tell you, that is the sun. So if somebody were to show you ever a picture like this, immediately you should realize, oh my god, that is the sun. That is not a boob, that is the sun. You understand? Okay, so remember class, sometimes I know if people in the second grade will be getting the pop quiz, so this is here to help you. So now the sun, that and then there's another small little planet. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. This little planet, it is called the Mercury. It is like the Mercury rising. I've not even seen whatever that program is, or show, or song, or Mercury, or whatever. But I know that if you eat mercury, you will die. And sometimes they put cavities in the mouth, they put the mercury in there. Your dentist doesn't tell you that because he's a bloody bastard. So you might be wondering, how do I memorize mercury? How do I know mercury is there? Remember, just think of it this way. The sun is the sun. Nothing can touch it. But mercury is, let us just say it's like your mother. She's very hot, and sometimes if you talk to your mother and she's in a bad mood, she'll just beat your ass. So M is for mercury. So that is like what you can kind of try to figure, in terms of, I don't really want to piss off my mom because she's so hot. And when she's that hot, she'll beat my ass. Okay? So then after the Mercury, there's another planet. It is called Venus. It is called Venus. I know sometimes my accent people are thinking, no, isn't it called Venus? No, it's Venus. Okay? It like rhymes with penis. So just remember, so somebody says Venus, you say penis. Then they'll be like, wait, what are you talking about? And you'll be like, well, Jattindar told me that is how I memorize the planet. So you might be saying, okay, Venus is here. Venus, it is with a W. Just kidding, it's actually with a V. But just for the sake of you to memorize, we'll go for Venus. Now, why are women from Venus? Well, just like your mother, when you're deciding on a spouse, they say statistically, you try to look for someone that is like Mercury, but then you end up with someone like Venus, who has their own psychotic and crazy problems. And you try to say, oh my god, my mother took care of me. Will Venus take care of me? And Venus doesn't really take care of you. They end up wanting you to do everything, and then they take credit for that they've done everything. That is really what Venus is. Venus is also very hot. They're very cloudy. You can't really understand what is happening inside Venus. You'll send like a satellite to probe to find out questions, and then Venus comes back to you with like some pretty cutting remarks, and sometimes a little below the belt. And let me tell you, ladies, you cannot comment below the belt. You know what I mean? That is some bullshit. Now Earth is basically the next one. It is like here, it's like a nice blue planet. I don't know where my blue marker is, so shut your faces. But here is Earth. Okay? Now Earth is basically you. The calm, cool, collected, you outside you look very beautiful, but inside over here, there's a lot of turmoil. People hate this. You are fighting with yourself. You've got identity crisis, and your ice polar caps are melting. Global warming is happening. But on the surface, everything looks fine. You think everything's okay, but inside you're going a little mental. Now, that is Earth. Now, what about the little one called Mars? Now, Mars, let me tell you a little bit about Mars. Mars is an interesting planet because they say men are from Mars. See, again, men, M, Mars. Now, do you notice something? I mean, let's just say that is you on the inside. You are like, here is the Mars. The Mars is right here. That is technically your dad. Mars is your father. And so you're trying to be like Mars. You want to be the man, but you can't be a man because you're too busy having internal conflicts, and people are trying to run away from Earth and go on to Mars. But meanwhile, in Mars, people are just like, at that point when you look at your dad, he's like, those moments when you sometimes you'd look at your father and there is just a blank stare on his face, and he's just sitting there and you think he's reading the newspaper, and he's just like, he's just there. And you're like, Daddy, are you okay? And he's just like, no doubt, Daddy, are you fine? It's because if you look at the terrain of Mars, it's barren. There's nothing there. But underneath, there are ice caps. There is water. There was life. There was opportunity. But it all got burnt because of all of these people. So Daddy has got it really bloody rough. Now, you might be thinking, well, hold on, Jattindar. That is a load of horse crap. It's not horse crap. The theory is correct because first comes mommy, right? First is the mummy. Then you've got the wifey or girlfriend or whatever the hell you're doing, boyfriend or, of the gays, whatever, I don't know who's the dominant, but whatever the point is then there's that. Then there's you who's trying to appease the situation, and then you just look at Daddy. And then Daddy's just kind of like, he's just checked out. He's gone for golf. So, okay, after that, then we've got what I call the other family members. They are the asteroid belt. They are basically the ones that come launching into your life, and then they drop a bunch of shit onto you, and you're too busy trying to figure out how do I balance this? You're leaving bloody craters inside of me, and then occasionally, like, you don't really get hit that often, which is a good thing. But when you do get hit, it leaves impact, and then it can just kind of like eradicate everything. But the rest of it, it's like, seriously, it's they usually stick to their own, but sometimes they get away from the pack and go a little crazy, and that's what happens. After that, we have what I like to call Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter is your grandfather. That is basically Mars on his way. Like when your daddy is getting on to becoming the Jupiter, at that point he's got a bunch of little moons that are surrounding him, which are his grandkids. But then you see, at some point, Grandpa's really cool. Grandpa is like the coolest of the cool because he's got like so much energy that you're like, wait, Grandpa, where did that come from? He's like, because I don't have to work anymore and I'm like collecting retirement, I can do whatever I want to do. Grandpa has got it really cool. So that, but the thing about Grandpa's also got a slight crazy streak. That is like the little spot. Like if you go near Grandpa in that spot, your ass is pretty much grass. And that really, that spot is because of Saturn. Saturn with the rings. Now Saturn is grandma. So Saturn, like sometimes she's got her moons too because she's got like the grandkids. And she's got a little ring around her because that's the wedding ring because she's married to Jupiter. But the problem is sometimes she might still do shit and Grandpa might show like a bolt of anger because that is the little tornadoes and the thunderstorms, there. Now, finally, after Saturn, it is either, after Saturn, then you have Uranus, okay? Now, Uranus, you might be thinking, well, who is Uranus? Is it Uranus? I don't know if it's Uranus. Now, Uranus, you must be going, but Jattindar, who is Uranus? Now, it all goes back to if you end up with Venus. If you end up with Venus, Uranus is your mother-in-law. I'm joking. Uranus is your mother-in-law, because she'll put like demands on you and you'll be like, I can't, handle it. And then she's like all cold and shit. And you're like trying to warm up to Uranus and you can't, you can't warm up to Uranus. So there's really nothing you can do. So then you've got Neptune, which is your father-in-law. I mean, he's pretty cool. Like, you go get along with him, you complain about like all sorts of shit with him, and then sometimes he might give you a cigar and you'll like smoke the cigar with him. But he's like, like the guy who you can like kind of chill out with because he's cool. He's cool, he's calm, he's collected. So there's Neptune. And now technically they don't, this is what they consider the solar system. But then, Pluto, I still consider Pluto a planet. NASA can kiss my ass. So Pluto, I mean, whether it is or not, whether it's for the debates and the scientists and like, it doesn't follow. Well, you can follow whatever you want to follow. But Pluto in my book still is. And you might be thinking, who is Pluto? Pluto is your crazy ass brother or sister-in-law. They basically are so crazy, you rarely ever see that person. They're like so rare. You're like, who are they? Oh, it's them. So I don't really have any connection to them. So that's really, children, how you memorize the ordering. I would suggest you go to the Googles and check to make sure that I've got the ordering of Uranus and Neptune correct, because it's been a long time since I've reviewed this. So yes, that is what I call the family solar system. My name is Jattindar, and I'm here to teach you about science, about life, about everything in this world that is possible. I am an expert, and like I was established, I have so many PhDs that it is not even funny. So if you need to have a subject that we discuss, I'll be more than happy to discuss it with you. Please leave it in the comments below. And no bloody more relationship questions, because if you guys are having more relationship problems, I don't know what to do anymore. At that point, I say just start getting on the, take biking lessons, do yoga, join a club, do something, get off the computer. But no, watch the video first, give it a like, subscribe, laugh a little. Make sure you share it, you bloody guys. You don't share. You are a bunch of hoarding little bastards. I'm just joking. You're not. But make sure you share it, and we'll come out with a video. This Thursday will be another video. So make sure you stay for it. And until then, I am Jattindar, your professor, signing off for today.